Yo, it's Jumpman T with Twisted Torch TV. I'm back again on Atlanta Falcons Nation, Red Clay Sports on a Saturday morning. Hey, everybody get in here, wipe your feet. We got some good content to discuss. I got my man Mad Mike here. He ready to politic with me. So let's go ahead and get started. But everybody that's in here, make sure you wipe your feet off before you get it. Go ahead and like the video and let's get into these comments. The first thing we got to discuss, I saw Arthur Smith was talking about this earlier. How will Hayden Hurst excel on a contract year? Me personally, I feel like Hayden Hurst is going to be great as far as being able to play his role. When you add a person like Kyle Pitts into the fold, and Arthur Smith with his playbook, it's predicated towards Kyle Pitts and Hayden Hurst. He's a vertical tight end, and he's going to be excelling well in this offense. I mean, we all saw how DK, Mr. Former Friend, did Hayden Hurst last year. He really didn't use him until the end of the season. So I'm expecting Mr. Thor to get right and show us who's boss this year, especially with the pressure not really being on him. How do you feel about that, Mike?
Hey man, I think you might be my evil twin or something because I said the same exact thing, man. Hey man, I feel exactly the same. I really feel as though Hayden Hurst is the forgotten man on this team. Everybody knows for the most part that Mr. Doofus. And I'm not talking about Shanna Doofus, but the other Doofus. Dirk Cutter had absolutely no idea how to be creative. There wasn't a creative bone in his body. And that's what the Falcons offense lacked last year, is just creativity. Mm-hmm. When you look at Hayden Hurst, man, it's like I think he's a bigger version of what Kyle Pitts is. He's a bigger version of what Kyle Pitts is, man. And people like they really don't realize that because like when you look back at the film last year, they kind of used him in the exact same way as Kyle Pitts. So now that you have two guys that's gonna, pretty much do the exact same thing. Hayden Hurst, 6'4", 6'5". He's just as big as Kyle Pitts, and as far as his length is concerned. Now you have two guys that you can line up in the middle of the field and, Calvin really going to eat. So, like, KP going to eat. So, it's like, who are you going to take? You're not going to take Hayden Hurst. You're not going to double Hayden Hurst. So, he's going to go one-on-one with a smaller safety, one-on-one with a smaller linebacker, and we already know. I expect this man to have at least 15 touchdowns. That's just my opinion. I really feel like he's going to be that red zone target, and a lot of people going to be focused on KP, but they're not going to have a linebacker or a safety that's going to be able to consistently
cover him. Yeah,
cover him. Like I don't think there's a single linebacker, that's not a line, not the middle linebacker or the weak side linebacker that can consistently, cover this guy, because you got KP, who is just he's just a nightmare matchup for anybody, and you're not gonna single him up. That's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna single up a guy that's 6'6" and can run a 4.4. So Hayden Hurst is gonna eat, man. So I expect him to have at least, I'm going to say 10 to 15 touchdowns. I think he's going to be our red zone target, and he's going to bust everybody's ass this year.
And we can't not lie. Like when he played the Bucks, when he played the Cowboys, two teams that have good linebackers, he had field days on him. Like he was able to make plays in the middle of the field. And this is without Kyle Pitts. This is without Julio doing those games. Hayden Hurst is a mismatch nightmare, especially when you use him how he's supposed to be used. Toward the end of the
Absolutely.
season, Matt Ryan was going to him left and right. He wasn't even second guessing it. And when Matt Ryan does those camps with the receiving core and skill positions, you can see how well he gels with those players. Hayden Hurst came in last year and said he wanted to get on the same page as Matt Ryan. And in year two, we know it's going to be just like that. Just calling a spade a spade. But before we get into the next question, let me shout out some of these. Let me shout out some of these fans in here. Nate
Yes,
Lowe
sir.
was good. Toxic Falcons was good. Hey, I'm sorry, bro. Your name is crazy. I don't know what that is. Julio not going to be
I ain't
traded.
even trying it. Bro,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just die. They just call him die. I ain't trying to read all that shit.
Blitz 818 was good. Jamal Wilson was good. DJ was good. Boomer the Falcon. YMOF Jamal 05. What's goody? Let's get into that next one. Can Deion Jones turn into a top three linebacker in Dean P's defense? We gotta keep it a stack, guys. Deion Jones is already top five, can be
Bro,
top
I'm
three easily.
trying to tell you, y'all was you stuck. God damn, you really are my fucking evil.
Hey,
Damn.
when you watch the film, Deion Jones always comes out, bro. You see him when he's able to go left side to right side, being able to react quick. Deion Jones is a animal. I remember 2017 when he was able. They did a Ted Ginn sweep with the Saints one year. This is the year he had to pick in that game to end the game. But if you watch throughout that game, you see Deion Jones makes plays throughout that game. He put Alvin Kamara out of that game on that first series. Alvin Kamara killed. They tried to run a screen. Deion Jones was there. AK had a concussion. The AK stopper. The C
Yep,
Max stopper. You gotta
yep.
call it. You gotta keep it real. But back to that sweep. Deion Jones came from the middle linebacker position. He chased Ted Ginn down to lose 10 yards. Ted Ginn didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
We
That
talking about
shows you.
Ted Ginn, bro. The speedster Ted Ginn.
Return kicks to again. He caught him down like a hawk. Deion Jones is a animal. If you watch him versus any running back, any type tight end, he covers his man. And just him having a road dog like Fourier, who's going to be in his year four, man, this linebacker core is going to be deadly. And I ain't even speak on the sacks part. Like I'm gonna let Mike get into that
Right.
part because that's Mike's man when it comes to these sacks. He already thinks he's gonna lead
Right.
our team in sacks, but Deion Jones is really capable. Even over these past years, it's shown that Deion Jones has started to blitz even more throughout the years. So I'm expecting big things from Dean Pease and Deion Jones. How do you feel about that, my brother?
Well, I don't think there's a more talented linebacker in the league than Deion Jones. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people, when Luke Kuechly was in the league, he was the most complete linebacker, middle linebacker, just linebacker in the league. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
there's a more complete linebacker in this league than Deion Jones because the general consensus, as far as like when you look at Deion Jones, oh, he's small, but we all know that does not matter when you're a linebacker as talented as him. Why do I say that? Because any middle linebacker in the league would tell you do one thing for me and I'll eat and I'll do the rest. Get a big ass defensive lineman, D tackle, one tech, zero tech that can eat up space and keep the body off of him. Don't matter how small and how big you are, you get those big defensive tackle that are going to keep those offensive linemen off of you, then you're gonna see that the linebacker do what they do best. Ray Lewis was one of the most complete linebackers. Also, that wasn't a thing that Ray Lewis couldn't do. He
Mm-hmm.
could blitz. He could, shed blocks. Deion Jones can do everything that Ray Lewis can do. Is he Ray Lewis? Absolutely not. But there's nothing that Deion Jones can't do. Deion Jones is a blitzer. You've seen him come off the edge. You've seen him coming off the A and B gaps. You've seen him, you've seen him pretty much be the center fielder for this defense. Or I'm talking
Easily.
about, like he's been the guy. Like I've seen him. He's like anybody know anything about the amoeba defense where he fakes a blitz and he backs all the way up. And I've seen this dude
Plenty of
fake a
times.
blitz, and he's 20, 30 yards downfield covering covering a receiver or a tight end.
Before you
This
know
guy
it,
is the most complete. I believe, and I'm not, and I don't think I'm even going too far. Like I said, I think he's the most talented. Out, you can say is a close second between. I think he's the most complete linebacker in the league. Roquan Smith is another one I like, but outside of Debo, man, like I don't think that like there's nothing this guy can't do. And like you said, man, don't tell me that he's too little when he knocked out Cam Newton big ass. Did y'all see that hit? Do I need to
nasty.
remind y'all when he knocked that big ass? This dude is 6'6", 200 and what, 40, 50 pounds, and he knocked
Easily.
his ass back like he wasn't nothing. He did that on his own. So I don't want to don't tell me that he's too small, because that's some bull crap.
Hey, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. He was Devin White before Devin White got into the league too.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and we saw how Devin White and Levante David wrecked that Super Bowl game playing for the Chiefs. But I'm gonna give you a little comparison for our two linebackers. I don't know if you'll like this or not, but I really feel like this. Brian Urlacher has already stated that he thinks Deion Jones is top three. How do you feel about Fourier and Deion Jones being kind of like Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs?
I do like that comparison. Kind of took me back. I had to really think about it for a second, but like I think that's the perfect duel, because both of those guys, Urlacher and Briggs, were good cover linebackers, and of course, playing in that Tampa 2, they don't blitz a lot, but when they do, those guys can get home.
They cause
So
havoc.
I think outside of Tommy Harris, man, like we don't have a guy like Tommy in the middle that can consistently blow up things outside of Grady Jarrett. But like you get those D tackles that can consistently get in the backfield like that, man, and wreak havoc, man. Oya Olakun and um, you know Debo, those guys. I like that comparison though. I think that's a pretty good damn comparison.
Besides the blitzing, I think that Fourier and Dion are going to be a little bit better at blitzing than Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs was, just
Oh,
based
without
on
question.
the scheme and the speed. Brian Urlacher was fast, but I don't think he was fast as Deion Jones. So
Oh no, he
yeah,
definitely wasn't.
yeah. So Deion Jones is electrifying, man. We know each week we're gonna get a special play from Deion Jones, and we expect it. Like he knows that, and we know that. Like we expect big
Right.
plays from Deion Jones. Like, and he comes
And
up. He comes up a
that's why you
lot.
got to say he's top three.
Yeah.
That's why I say he's the most complete linebacker in the league, because like you're gonna get a play, whether it's a blitz or him in coverage or him just getting in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing Dion can't do. Can't nobody say he has a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, oh, he's too small. But how many bigger, like there's so many big linebackers in the league that can't shed blocks and can't get off a block
Mm.
offensive lineman. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear, oh, he's too small, because that's bull crap. I mean, you see guys like the Tampa Bay White, like he had the same issues. Devin Bush, Pittsburgh, they had the same issues. Couldn't get out blocked. They're too small. So it's like that's just a commonality, especially for linebackers. These days is that like you got to sacrifice, some size for athleticism.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's facts, Mike. You are head on with this conversation today. I appreciate you joining Red Clay Sports for this one, man. This is a
Yes,
movie.
sir, man.
Let's get into this question by Tony Wright, though. I like this question. Will Deion Jones play one of the inside linebacker positions or outside linebacker positions in our new 3-4 defense? Well, let's keep it a spade, bro. Dean has already said it's going to be multiple looks. That's one. Dean has
Yep.
already said he's going to put players in position to make plays. I can tell you a lot of players with Deion can do either or. So if we're trying to take mismatches and Deion Jones has a tight end on there that can't block, he might go to the outside. If Dion has a mismatch that's in the middle to where that guard is too slow and can't reach block to him, he's gonna stay in the middle. But they're gonna make sure they keep these guys fresh and ready to roll. So Dion
Yes,
Jones, I
sir.
feel like he's gonna be able to play wherever they put Dion. He's happy to play as long as he can make plays. How you feel about that, bro?
Um, I agree. When asked what the Falcons are going to be, he said, "Yeah." So when we talk about Debo, after what I just described, I'm gonna just say, "Yeah." All right, that's my answer. Yeah. When it get things to Debo, I'm gonna just say, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. That's all you need to know.
All right. So Toxic Falcons asks, the question is, will the D line step up? All right, so if we gonna be honest, we don't know what the trade might be with Julio, so we can't speculate that. But as far as the players we got now, with Marlon Davidson being able to do back to 3-4 where he played with Auburn, I feel like he's gonna be a mismatch for some people as far as gelling, as far as blocking passes down and getting to the QB, getting stripped fumbles. Pairing him with Grady Jarrett, and hopefully we'll be able to get a lot more from Fowler. We can make some plays as far as a defense. We got to keep in mind it's not just going to be that front three or that front four that's going to be bringing pressure. Dean has stated in
Right.
his interviews, in his pep talks, even from AJ Terrell and Deion Jones, they said they're going to play fast and they're going to be blitzing wherever the hell they want to blitz from. They're going to make sure this QB and this offensive coordinator is guessing from time to time. So it's not going to just be the D line, bro. We need the D line to stop the run. These linebackers are so elite to where they can play wherever they can get added pressure. And if we get QBs off the spots, we get offensive linemen to miss blocks and not call out timing as far as where the defensive end or linebackers blitzing from. You're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna have opportunities to make big plays, and that's the name of the game. That top 10 shit is out the window. I gotta stop thinking like that, bro. That top 10 shit don't matter. There's plenty of top 10 teams that don't make it to the Super Bowl year in and year out. It's about being
Absolutely.
optimistic and making turnovers, and that's what you need when it comes to Dean P's defense.
Yeah. I agree. That's why I don't care about top five, top ten. I don't care about none of that crap because I've seen San Francisco be the top. What I think they was like top three, if not number one, ranked defense in that Super Bowl year, and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't get a damn stop in the Super Bowl. So it's
Couldn't
like
stop a nosebleed.
they couldn't stop a damn nosebleed. So it's like I don't give a damn about no top three or top five. Like y'all can shove that with a no shine. You know what I'm saying? Like look, I could care less. You always hear me say these two things. I want a defense that can get timely stops, and they're great at the small, intricate details of football. That's all I care about. Because if you can't get off the field on third down, if you can't get that key sack in the fourth quarter, when you need to apply pressure, none of that matters. So you can get pressure all game long in the first half, second half. But when it matters most, that fourth, let's just go back to the Patriots Eagles Super Bowl. Like that game
Mm.
was just explosive. All like they couldn't do anything right. The Eagles couldn't do right. But when they needed that one play from their defensive line, they got that key sack, and on that last possession, they got that key. They got pressure on Tom Brady, and they got the sack that pretty much, got them out of scoring position. So it's like that's what I care most about. I care about that, that defense. I care about the defense getting no timely stops. So it's like, will the defensive line, will the defensive line be, will the defensive line, will the defensive line be better? I think so. Um, the defensive line would definitely be better. I don't think the Falcons defense had any major issues last year. And like I said, I don't like that may sound crazy.
The
They
scheme,
had
the
hella
scheme
talent.
mostly. Mm-hmm.
They haven't really changed much about this defense. outside of a couple of, veteran safeties that you could have got last year. So it's like
Mm.
Eric Harris, Harmon, those guys you could have got last year. So don't tell me like that's a major upgrade. That's not a major upgrade. So they didn't do much to change this defense. So like what the Falcons need most is a creativity. They fucking
Mm-hmm.
suck. They were
Yeah.
old fashioned. That was an
Mm-hmm.
old fashioned team trying to play in a new league, and that's what the Falcons were. Now they have a creative offensive coach, and now they have a defensive coach, and then they have a creative offensive coach. So we're going to be a much more creative team this year, and that's what they need most.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. The reason why I had put this up, I don't know if you noticed. I put this up because ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Ain't nobody coming.
When we turn on the Atlanta Falcons, we're looking at linebacking core, AJ Terrell, and see what his secondary is at. If we just being honest, if we get pass rushing, that's a blessing. But we're expecting these linebackers and this secondary to step up to maybe help the defensive line get better pressures. In all honesty, we're working backwards to forward instead of forward to backwards, just
Yes,
in this
sir.
defense right now. So let's just be honest, guys. Y'all trying to act like y'all care about line and shit. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all care about Deion Jones, Fourier, Malik Walker, and we're gonna see where number 27 lies with Mr. Grant. That's what we want to see. Mr. 24, AJ Taylor, we want to see them. So let's stop. Let's stop with the antics, guys. If pass rush happens, thank you. That's what we hope. But hey, we're not expecting that.
Like,
Tony, you said something good. John convinced me. I think he's good, bro. He doesn't get enough snaps. So hopefully
yeah,
this year in Dean P's offense, he'll be able to gel and maybe step out of that comfort zone, man, because he's a big guy who's played QB. So I'm sure he knows about QB reads. He knows where QB might want to go. He might be able to get to the pass rush. Get to the QB as faster than Grady Jarrett in some cases because Grady Jarrett is getting goddamn double team, triple team throughout the season. We know that. So when Grady makes plays, we're so happy because we know he's beating double team. So we know that. So let's get into another question unless you had something else to add to that.
no, no, not really. Just Kaminsky is a guy that likes to use his power to speed instead of speed to power. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing with him. Like he's just a different breed. He's like a Jared Allen, if you will, or JJ Watt. Like JJ Watt is a guy that uses his power to speed.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you have a guy like Dean Pease, he's the perfect guy in the Dean Pease system because he doesn't solely rely on his speed. He can
Yeah.
do different things and different packages with a guy like John Kaminsky and big formations to get in the backfield. Like that's his strength because he's
Mm-hmm.
going to use his power first and then he's going to use his athleticism to get past those guys. So that's what I'm looking more for, like for John Kaminsky.
Yeah, facts. I think Kaminsky is going to be a good one because this is his last year too, so he's looking to make a statement, especially
Yes,
with this
sir.
new regime. So I'm expecting big things from Kaminsky. Let's see what he does this year into training camp. Let's see if he gets a spot. But my next question is, who's the next man up on the receiving core? I know a lot of y'all keep debating this. Do we trade Julio? Should we not? Listen, we got a bunch of young killers as far as in this receiving core. Julio has pretty much taught them everything he needed to show them through this 3 year period. All of them are in a role where they're in their fourth year. So they're going to be able to make a lot of plays. We don't even have to discuss Calvin Ridley. So I'm going to just tell you the one I like. I like the young killer. I like the young Darby. I think he's good. He's going to be very explosive because he doesn't have to play every snap. People don't know too much about him, but if you look at his film, this guy knows how to get down the field. And with Matt Ryan being able to throw that beautiful deep pass, and Darby, he's not a timer as far as speed wise, but he knows how to get open and show his speed on the field. That's a key. Marvin, we all know how Irvin was. Irvin wasn't that fast, but he was always able to get open. He was a possession receiver. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I kind of like that 88 on him. I think he's gonna make a lot of plays with that 88 on him. That 88 look pretty good on him, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Then he got the visor. You look good, you play
Absolutely.
good. As Dion said, you look good, you play good. So I'm expecting big things from Darby. Seeing the fact that he doesn't have to come in and play every snap.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think it's going to be one guy to step up. You're talking about a different type of quarterback. Matt Ryan
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need a one receiver to be successful. He's a guy that like to spread the ball around like a Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Um, there's not many quarterbacks that spread around the ball around like those guys. So, like, I'm gonna say all of them. I'm gonna go back to
Mm.
what I said earlier. Just everybody. Everybody go. You're gonna see everybody step up because you're not gonna be able to focus on Julio. It's like they don't know what to expect. They don't know what to expect from this team anymore. It's just like I said, man. Like when you don't have a Julio Jones, man, it's hard to key on one particular guy until you figure out what he's all about.
Spread that motherfucker out.
Spread it out, man. You don't know who's gonna get the ball, and like I said, that goes back to creativity. We knew who Julio was gonna get the ball, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like that could be that could be a hindrance to your offense when you consistently throw to one guy, and one guy is always the center of your offense. That's what makes the Chiefs so difficult because you can't key on just one particular guy. You got your boy Todd, you got him, and you got Kelsey. Like from time, like you don't know who's gonna get the ball from time to time. Like Sammy, like those guys are very good receivers. So it's like, hey man, I just think Falcons have too many receivers, good receivers. Like Tony said, Zacchaeus is a very good receiver. He can make plays over the middle. He can definitely get deep. You got Russell
Mm-hmm.
Gage, who just he can do anything. Like he can get deep. He can get open in the middle of the field. You got Hayden Hurst. You got KP to go along with it. You got young guys like Darby. I mean, I keep going on and on and on, man. So it's like I'm
And
gonna just say, yeah, man.
we ain't even discussed Cordell Patterson. Oh my
We
God,
haven't
guys.
even, yeah, we ain't even Mike Davis,
Mike
Cordell
Davis. Oh my
Patterson. Like,
God. Oh my
come on,
God.
man.
Just me thinking. This is not. I'm not thinking like I'm a Madden player. I'm thinking like if I'm actually going to be a coach for this team. Without Julio, man, this helps Matt Ryan out tremendously.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to be able to see Matt Ryan not have to force feed anybody, not have to look at that direction. He's going to literally have his eyes doing this the whole game because it's so many weapons to pick from.
Right.
It's so many weapons to pick from. He can literally say, "I'm just gonna go to KP. I'm just gonna go to Hayden Hurst. I'm just gonna go down the middle of the field for throughout the time
Hmm.
because you're expecting Calvin really to make all these plays, and he literally can make 2 or 3 plays a game and persuade a game just like that. But with this middle core with Gage and Zacchaeus and Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts and Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson, they're gonna eat that middle of the field up. And we know with Matt Ryan, he loves to go to tight ends and backs. So good luck, guys. Good
That
luck
was the
stopping.
recipe for
Good luck
success.
stopping it.
That was that was the recipe for success in 2016.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan threw the 13 touchdown, a touchdown to 13 different receivers. Like they
Mm-hmm.
spread the ball around. So they didn't just focus. Yeah, Julio had a big year, but like as far as his numbers concerned, receptions is concerned, he didn't. Julio Jones didn't have that typical, 100 catches and 1,600 yards. Like he didn't have that type of year. He still had a big year as far as his yards and production is concerned, but he wasn't, like 2015 where we had,
He was
138
getting every
damn
goddamn. They was
reception
throwing the
receiving.
ball
That's
every time to
crazy.
him, man. Throwing him every time. But we gotta think about this, man. Think about how Taylor Gabriel and Sanu excelled in that type of offense.
Yes, sir.
Taylor Gabriel
Sanu had
came out of
his
nowhere.
best year. He
Yeah.
had his
Yeah.
best year. Sanu had his best year in that offense.
He got contracts off of that. Like people
Yes,
didn't know
sir.
to knew for a actual slot receiver. They knew him as a gadget type player. And when he came to Atlanta, his routes became crisp and he looked like he was open throughout the game. That's also Matt Ryan too, guys. Let's keep it a
Yes,
spec.
sir.
Keep it a stack. Matt Ryan's putting that thing
Mhm.
on the money to these type of receivers going in the middle of the field, bro.
Right.
And that hey, I like this comment right here. Terry Fontenot will be GM of the year. You goddamn Skippy. One, because he has my name, and two, because he's making and two, because he's making pickups that people are not expecting. They're going under the radar. We didn't even talk about Sharp. He's
Right.
already
Haven't
he's
even talked
already
about
played
that.
it. He's already played in this offense.
Yeah. So he's familiar with the verbiage and everything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like that's and see that's why I say all of them. It's like Matt Ryan is that quarterback like a Brady and Breeze where they just if you open they gonna get you. That's all they care about, just getting the ball out of their hand. So
Mm-hmm.
you just get the ball out of his hand, be more creative, use the tight end, three tight end set, two tight end sets, use the gun different, hand the ball off to the running backs. You got running back like I expect to see this too. This is a formation that I'm gonna look for and I may just do a film breakdown, do a quick couple
You,
plays on this, but
you giving
this,
inside scoops?
I'm giving you an inside scoop.
Let's get
I'm
it.
looking for
I
this.
like it. I like it. Talk to me. What you talking about? Let me hear it. Yeah, I need that scoop because we might be on the same page.
I'm going to look for this in his offense, but I'm not sure if I've seen this in Tennessee. And I think this is going to be a wrinkle in his offense. Um, the Falcons with Matt Ryan. One thing about Matt Ryan, he likes to get the ball out of his hands, and he doesn't like to fuck around. So how can you let athletes be athletes? You got guys like Java Biz. I don't know why I said Java Biz, but Cordero Patterson, and you have uh, Javian Williams. Those
Mm-hmm.
guys are electric in the open field. So how do you get these guys the ball so they can just be productive? Well, there are two things you can do. Um, you can line up in the gun, you can line up in pro sets, and you can just either Matt Ryan can be under the center or he can be in like I said he can just be in a shotgun and a pistol formation. And people think, oh, Matt Ryan ain't gonna run, but that's not the focus.
Yeah.
That's not the focus. The focus is to make sure that you spread those linebackers out and get those running backs the ball in the open field where they can make a play. Because now you have KP on the outside and you have a guy like a Calvin Ridley that's going to keep those safeties honest. You're not going to be able to give the
Mm.
middle linebacker a lot of help because you got those monsters on the outside, and then you got Hayden Hurst that could potentially be in the middle of the field also. So that's going to leave those linebackers one on one with a guy like Javian Williams and Cordero Patterson. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for. I'm gonna look for packages in that Tennessee offense um, where Arthur Smith used two backs. I don't think he did that, and I think that's going to be the wrinkle in his offense where he used those special players and this is what creativity comes in the hand where you using
Mm-hmm.
those guys to to just spread them and let them be athletes. That's why you brought in Williams. That's why you brought in Cordero Patterson, so they can be athletes. So that's the wrinkle that I'm looking for, and I should have that soon. I should have that real soon.
Mike,
But that's what
Mike,
I'm gonna be focused on.
you really in your bag today, man. You must really be
Hey,
reading minds. I don't. Hey, do you got
everybody call me the
you got the
mad
Professor X
scientist. I'm
gene?
always thinking of something, bro.
You got the Professor X gene? I need to know now. I swear I've been talking about this two running back set since we had Freeman and Tevin Coleman. This should have
Yes,
been
sir.
used more. But with the
Yes, sir.
athletes we have now, oh my God.
Yeah.
They gonna hate. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Defensive coordinators, this is how you will be every day when you have to think about the Falcons for that week. Just to let you know, you will be
Yeah.
woo-sighing throughout that time because if we get those type of sets out there, man, that's ballpark. You can run
That's
screens on that. You can run out flats on that, and you can get
mm-hmm.
yardage because both of them are electrifying in the open field. And if you
Yeah.
got a middle linebacker that has to come from the middle position to guard a person doing a screen or a corner route, it is not that easy unless you have Deion Jones, Mr.
Right.
Warner, Mr. Barry Wagner that are able to react. You're gonna get a lot of players to be fooled on that type of set. So I like where you're going with that. And we don't got this dude to fuck it up no more. So don't even worry about that.
Right.
Don't even worry about that.
Right.
It's gonna be there. I like that setup, man. That's a great setup, and we need to make sure we use that with all the backs we got. We can do with Allison and Mike Davis at one point, like
Yeah.
you said, Cordell, and the other guy. Like this can be a great scheme for the Atlanta Falcons. And Matt Ryan, when he gets that ball out quick, good luck.
Good
And
luck.
that's how you set up those deep passes when you're getting the ball off quick, and they gotta keep blitzing. And what people don't know, people think they know that Matt Ryan just falls whenever he sees a blitz. Matt Ryan is top 5 in pass attempts and throwing and getting accuracy when a person is blitzing him. He is top 5. I'm gonna need y'all to look up these stats. Top 5 in the league as far as a QB at beating the blitz. So if y'all want to blitz like the Eagles did in the other year, and he killed them on every blitz, good luck to you. That guy is phenomenal when it comes to blitz packages. So let's see what the comments say real fast. I know they probably talking about that one. That was a key point right there, my brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's good?
Creativity, man.
What's good, Kstlyz? What's good, J Rock? What's good? What's good? Let's see. People forget we have Sharp at receiver too, bro. That's what we talked about, bro. And I know he's good. He beat Jalen Ramsey a couple times, so he know how to get open. That's what I like to see. Um, Tony said, "Yeah, remember that with the Freeman and Coleman in 2016 running those swing routes at the running back position. Those were
Yes, sir.
big plays to the backs in 2016. That's exactly correct, my brother. They were, and that's why Mike brought up that scheme. He already knew the players we had in fold for that goddamn
Yes,
scheme. Mike,
sir.
you slick. You know what we got on that back. Mike, hey, Mike watching his film, man. Don't let him fool you. He watching that film. He already knew.
Hey, I stay in that film room, boy. That's something that I do. I'm always looking for every little thing that we can use, how we can use this guy, and that's why I brought up. Also, this is a good scheme too. That what I've been thinking about as far as like Allison is concerned, because you have Mike Davis, and you have a guy like Hawkins who can come out of the backfield. So like now and I know a lot of people remember this, especially with Green Bay, where they had all of a sudden they had Mike Davidson, they had Mike Davis, and now you have Hawkins. It's like, what are you going to do? Is Matt Ryan going to throw the ball? Is he going to give it to Davis? Is he going to give it to Allison? Is he going to give it to Hawkins? Like that right there causes a lot of issues because like now what you can do, you already have a tight end, and KP is one of those tight ends like a Tony Gonzalez, where you can line him outside and he can run routes and just use his big frame. So like he can block smaller just he can block those cornerbacks. So now a defense is trying to figure out like should I get prepared for Mike Davis? Should I get prepared for Allison? Should I get prepared for KP? Like what am I going to do? That's another formation you could use as that full house formation where it's like you utilizing your running backs. You can have all your running backs in one play. And Cordell Patterson,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's Hawkins or Cordell Patterson, you can use any one of those guys. It's like 2nd and 5, those mid range, those mid downs and whatnot. Like you don't know what you're gonna get. You can either go deep with KP, you can go deep, with a swing pass out of the backfield to one of those running backs, or you can
Real
use,
routes.
Mike Davis, or you can use Mike Davis, and all of a sudden to get those, those short yardage if you want to run the ball. It's just so many things you can do with that formation, man.
And I'll add another wrinkle to that. You can have those two backs in the backfield, and you can put Cordell Patterson in the slot. And you can
Yeah.
run sweeps off of that. You can run real routes off of
Mm.
that. Don't sleep on these wrinkles,
Hey
man.
man,
They got
hey,
something prepared for that, man. They got something prepared for this Falcons offense, man. When they
hey
got
man,
Cordell
it's gonna
Patterson,
be
I
something,
knew
man.
something was clicking.
That man is
So
an evil genius, man. I've studied his offensive tendency, and one thing that I do know is that he doesn't cater to one particular. Like I've seen him run sets where he just in shotgun the whole game.
mhm.
He doesn't just cater every single game to one particular formation. That's what I like most about a guy Arthur Smith, man. He doesn't cater to one.
Yeah, facts. I appreciate that one. David said nobody's gonna talk about the special teams. We got Cordell Patterson, man. Special
I
team is the
mean,
last thing on my mind right
yeah,
now.
yeah, come on, bro. Yeah,
We-
he's Cordell Patterson. Like, do we have to say anything else? He's baby. He's baby Hester. Okay, we good.
Devin already stamped him, and we got the young guy from Boise State that's gonna be a gadget player,
Oh,
Mr.
Avery
Avery
Williams.
Williams. Oh my God,
Yeah,
this guy is phenomenal. So we don't
yeah,
gotta
but
talk about that. We'll get into that when training camp gets in, and we see what
right.
that is. I like this question. Should Matt run the no huddle more this year? He's been fairly successful in the no huddle schemes. Uh,
Very. That motherfucker's a monster, and he's probably behind Peyton Manning. That motherfucker, he's probably the second best. Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, and Matt Ryan. I don't think is three quarterbacks. I don't think those outside those three quarterbacks. I don't think a quarterback ever ran the no huddle as good as those guys. But Warren
nah,
Moon, when they was in the, that Houston
back in the
Oilers
day.
run and shoot, was like those guys in that run and shoot, man. Like that no huddle, that shit is disgusting, man. Like Matt Ryan and that shit, like phew, that's
That's a
what
good.
Kyle Shanahan tried not to do here.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that he tried to take away because he didn't have a lot of power in the
Yeah.
play call. So he tried
Yeah.
to take that away from in that Matt Ryan in 2015. And when you look at 2016, it was like, look, this man is great when it comes down to no huddle. Why the hell are you taking it away? So they pretty much had this, smack Shanahan across the head, like, what the fuck you doing? The man good at them. All right, he's good
Yeah.
at it. Why the hell are you
That
trying
was
to take it
crazy.
away? He gave it back to him in 16, and you saw you got the results. So balance. That's something that Doofus did the same thing. He took that away. He took that shit away from him. Last year the Falcons didn't run a lot of run and shoot,
Ever.
hurry up. They didn't run a lot of hurry up. So that's another thing. You know, when you talk about creativity, there's so many things that you can do with a quarterback like Matt Ryan. I don't understand why you're handicapping him with the same board as offense. All you see on the cutter was hook routes, curl routes,
Then
deep
seven
end routes.
routes. Yeah.
Everybody run the exact same, depth and routes. And like the dude is just a freaking moron, man.
Yeah, man. And whenever I see Matt Ryan do this and point to the
Yeah,
position,
it's over. It's over.
that's 20 yards easily. Harry
That's
Douglas
it.
used to eat that. Whenever Matt Ryan did this and he pointed at Harry Douglas, that was an easy post route, an easy in route every time. He killed them
Every
every
time,
time.
dog.
And I think Dirk Cutter cheesed us because it's so sad. Like, bro, you ran a no huddle when you was here with us the first time, and he excelled in that with Tony G and Roddy and Julio. So you pretty much said, I don't really care how Matt Ryan looks. I'm not even gonna play towards his strength, and it showed. And you were
Hmm.
trash for that, and that's the reason why you are not here anymore.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Yo,
Thank God for that.
hey, you funny, bro.
That's one thing I hate most about football. I cannot stand the lack of creativity, man. I cannot. You got all these playmakers on this team. You guys are kids. You could be running, end around screens. Like the dude
Easily.
abandoned his own. How the fuck are you known for, for screens, and you just decide you just not gonna run screens no more? The
Until
fuck is
until
wrong with you?
until
Dirk
the
Cutter,
team
I think
knows
he
you're
be
gonna
broke.
do it. Until the team knows you're gonna run the screen. That's when he used to call them.
Like, good gracious, dude, boy.
I like that
Well,
comment, bro. You are spot on for that. Appreciate that $5, my brother. Stay
yes,
locked
sir.
in, man. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate that. Jew Talks, what it do, my brother? I saw. Hey, make sure y'all lock in the Jew Talk Sports and Kstlyz. They come with the heat every time they turn on the camera. So make sure y'all lock into them as well. All everybody on
What's the word,
ESPN.
Dirty Bird? It's the name of the new show. His solo act, a man going. All right, he done left niggas with attitude, and he going solo. He doing his Ice Cube thing. So check him out, man. What's the word, Dirty Bird? Live on Jew Talk Sports.
Yeah, Jew be getting down, but make sure y'all lock in the Jew for sure. But let's go ahead and get into the last one real fast before we close it out. Will Julio Jones trade talks continue into training camp? In all honesty, that motherfucker gonna continue until we get what we want. I don't care. I am not taking nothing less because Julio wants to get to another team. Julio can chill it out and either get paid on the sidelines or he can report to minicamp. Arthur Smith
Yeah.
stated in his press conference, we'll see. We'll do the wait and see approach. If I know Julio like I normally do, he usually doesn't do those type of things. He come in at training camp and he might come the last couple of days from minicamp just to show his face. But at the end of the day, man, it's not about Julio Jones. We're not in business to make sure Julio Jones gets where he needs to go. And stop putting up his sheet of where he want to go. We don't care. It's here's the name. Here's the number of teams where Julio wants to go. What does that got to do with us?
I don't give a shit where he want to go. This our team. This is Arthur Blake's team. Arthur Blake do what the fuck he want to do.
Yeah, like come on with
Terry's
that.
doing what he's told to do. Okay, let's make that clear. Okay, I want to
Mm-hmm.
make this clear. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me take that back. This is how the hierarchy go. Arthur Blank tells Rich McKay what he wants. Rich McKay relay the message to Terry, and that's how it goes. Okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
Terry tells it to the head coach, and the head coach follows directions. Okay, so get that out of your head and say Terry Fontenot is running the ship. No, there's all of these calls when it comes down to personnel is Arthur Blank's decision. Okay, they they
Mm-hmm.
they present him with ideas, and he say, okay, I like that idea. I like that idea. Let's go with this, and let's go with that. That's how it goes. So Arthur Blank is running the ship. Richard McKay is the advisor to kind of pitch the idea of the new, the new scheme of where they trying to go with the entire team. That's how it works. Arthur Blank is in control of all this. So when you talk about Terry Fontenot, he's stupid, all this type of no. Rich McKay is the guy who's putting all of this shit together. So if y'all want to blame anybody, you want to blame Arthur, you want to blame Terry, you need to blame the first guy, Arthur Smith, Arthur Blank, for putting this all together. He's the one that is okay in all of this stuff.
Exactly. And that's the thing people are not understanding. AB literally comes on the sideline, watches practices, all that. He ain't finna play them
Mm-hmm.
games with y'all. Like
Mm-mm.
y'all got AB messed up. That ain't how
Yeah.
AB work.
That
AB
man
makes
knows
the
football.
calls.
Their job is to pitch an idea to him. Their idea as a head coach, a GM, and a team president is to pitch the idea to. But AB has a vision of where he wants this team to go. It's like if he
Mm-hmm.
wants to be more physical, he got rid of everybody. He got everybody, pretty much everybody that was on this Falcons coaching staff to get a more physical style of football. So it's like that came from him. You remember? I
Mm-hmm.
remember this press conference. I don't know if you guys remember the press conference where, Matt Ryan. I think it was like almost back to back games where it started with the Pittsburgh Steelers where they had like 16 hits on Matt Ryan and like 8 sacks, and then they hit the Bucks, and the Bucks had the exact same numbers. And he came out, he was like, "Look, I don't want to see my damn quarterback getting hit like that. Bro. You need to do something." And then your boy TD was like, "Okay, I promised them I will fix the offensive line," and that motherfucker went out and signed everybody under the name of God. All right, if you was a guard, your ass was going to be on the team. All right, and he went out and signed. Um, Carpenter and Brown. We already know how those guys did, but he went out and drafted two offensive linemen. So that man runs everything. Their job is to pitch the idea, and that's where things is. So like I said, man, AB is the guy. If you want to blame anybody for how this team was, it's because of AB. All right,
Mm-hmm.
AB has a vision, and we just need to trust him. Because like let's be honest, the man got us to a Super Bowl. Like if you really want to be, he's always been a minority owner, so he's always been a part of the Atlanta Falcons. But like he's seen two Super Bowls, so he knows how to get to the Super Bowl. Like
Mm.
he was a minority owner under the Smiths. All right, he was a minority owner under the Smiths. They sold it to Arthur Blank, and so he knows he has the blueprint on how to get to a Super Bowl. This is not his first run as a owner or a team owner. He knows how to get there. That's why he went back to the blueprint. The blueprint is running the damn ball and playing solid defense. That's the exact same thing they did under Michael Vick and what made Michael Vick so electrifying. And that team being able to go to Green Bay and being the first team to go to Green Bay and beat them. They ran the ball and played solid defense. So we adopting that same philosophy. We're going back to the dirty birds. None of this pretty bird shit. We're going back
Mm-hmm.
to the dirty birds. We're about to smash people in the face. We're about to play some solid defense. And that's what Arthur Blank. He knows this. So the man is not a doofus. He's not stupid. He knows exactly how to win.
And he knows what he wants. If you watch him in practices or in the game, this is how he's looking throughout them practices. He's
Mm-hmm.
wanting to see who's gonna be there for the end of the season. He's wanting to see who's the playmakers, who deserves big contracts, and who doesn't. At the end of the day, we know Arthur Blank was pretty upset about what Julio did. He stated a
Yeah.
couple of years ago after he gave him that bread, I expect
Woo.
Julio Jones to be here and retire here. Even Julio Jones stated in a conference that he wanted to. At the end of the day, I feel like it's about money. It's not about winning because he doesn't know what this team could be, and he knows there's still talent on this team. So it's
Mm-hmm.
only about that check. It's about them dividends. And if you're gonna be honest, just say that. Just go to him and
Just
say
say
that.
it. I
Just
want
go
my
to him and
money.
say it. And Arthur has always been cool with that. If you be
Yeah.
honest with Arthur, he'll be realistic with you. Like, hey man, I can't do it till next year. Just like he did with him a couple years ago. He gave him a little extra couple million to come to the season and guarantee that he was going to work on the contract, and he did. So Arthur Blank deserves that courtesy from Julio, like to give it a chance to see what we gonna do. So once you did that, the cards are off the table. Once you
Mm-hmm.
say you don't want to be there, you out of there. As a fan, the cards are off the table. I love Julio Jones as an athlete, but at the end of the day, that's not loyalty to me. Just being realistic. You got your bread, baby. You took every dime on it. You took all 64 million that same day. And if you felt a certain type of way, you should have pushed some of it back, but you didn't. You took it. So at the end of the day, players deserve their money. They deserve to get their money. It's just the way you go about it. And especially from the
Absolutely.
organization of how we handle things, the way you go about it. We stated that you're the best player on our team. We stated that we're going to pay you. We stated that we're going to give you the ball whenever you want it. We stated that we're okay with you taking plays off whenever the fuck you feel like it. So don't do that. Don't do that to us.
Right.
We're
You're right.
fans. We're fans watching you. We're fans paying our fucking money to go see you play 2 snaps and sit out. And then 3rd and 10 come, you rusty and you sit your ass back down again. We watch that every game and never critiqued it. So don't sit here and do that about that money, bro, because you know we sit there and chill with your injuries. We make sure you're good in training camp where you don't have to play every game or every practice. You don't do preseason. We've already accommodated you a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So as a fan, we don't have to say, hey, well, it's still Julio. If he stays, he stays. But he does have to make an apology to the fan base if he don't stay. Just calling a spade a spade. That's realistic. You got to, bro. We paying our money
Absolutely.
to see you, man. Don't do that to us. We already showed you that we loyal. We picked you up in 2013 when you played 4-5 games and you got them executed. We were still telling motherfuckers you the best in the league. And you only played 5 games. Come
Yeah.
on, man. You damn well I got a reason to be mad, bro. No, we didn't watch you for what, 10 years, 11 years now? Come on, bro. Come on, man. So And Julio is not Roddy. Let's be honest now. Julio is not Roddy. Stop comparing these two people. Roddy is more a person that's gonna speak his mind, and that causes friction sometimes with a coach. Julio really don't talk like that. He just gonna look at you crazy and let you do you, and he gonna do him. So that's two different situations. Don't compare the two.
It's nowhere near the same. It's nowhere near the same. I mean, you pretty much said it all, man. My thing is like we have there's a recipe for success. You don't need especially when you have a quarterback like a Matt Ryan, um, you don't need a Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like people like looking at me probably like, Mike, what the hell are you talking about? You don't need Julio Jones? No, you don't need elite receiver for elite quarterback to be successful. Elite quarterbacks are elite quarterbacks. That's why, Aaron Rodgers still be able to put up the big time numbers, that he's done over the years because like he's not always had an elite receiver. Had very good receivers and he still put up his numbers, but like that's proof in itself that you don't need to have elite receivers to be have elite results. I'd rather have elite results rather than elite receivers. That's just my opinion. Like Julio Jones is a receiver. Receivers are replaceable. All right. Nobody thought there would be another Calvin Johnson, and here we looking at KP. People never thought there would be another Roddy White, but here we go talking about Julio Jones. They thought Julio Jones, we would never find another Julio Jones, and here we got Calvin Ridley. So, like year after year, it's been proven that you don't need elite receivers. You can replace receivers. You know what I'm saying? You may not be able to replace their talent on how they, how they ball, but you can replace numbers. I always tell people all the time, you can replace numbers. That's easy to replace numbers. All right. I can get two receivers and have 1,600 yards and
Easily.
10 touchdowns. I can do that. I can have a 3 wide receiver set, gets 3, two of them, 800 here, 800 there. You got 16. So it's like, and you paying them less money than $63 million. That's why a lot of offenses, they don't want to play these big time receivers because they know this. You can replace numbers. You can't replace their overall talent, but you can replace numbers.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the new comment? They just put a report out just now that stated Julio said that if he's traded, he wants to go to a contender with a big arm QB. I don't give a goddamn where
Julio can
Julio wants
suck
to
my
go.
left testicle, okay? He can suck my left testicle. Your old ass, you up here worried about if he said this, all right? If he said this, he can suck my left testicle. Why? Because guess what? It don't matter. We've seen you drop wide open deep passes. You can't even look, bro. You just had a whole hamstring, quote unquote, left you out. And T just said it, bro. You don't even be on the field like that. You going out after every other play, and you worried about deep passes. Like if you worried about deep passes, you can't even breathe, motherfucker. You can't even breathe. Get your cardio right before you start worrying about deep passes. All right, go play. All right, please. The Patriots. All right, Patriots. Please give us a number one and let him go play with Cam Newton. You will see, motherfucker. You will see. You will see that big arm quarterbacks don't mean shit. That's the biggest fucking goofiest shit I've ever seen in professional football. It's stupid. Big arm quarterbacks does not equal success. You have motherfuckers who can throw the ball 70, 80 yards, but they're inaccurate. Kyle Bowler for one. Jamarcus Russell. I mean, you even look at countless Ohio State quarterbacks.
Did you even
Dante Culpepper. These guys have elite arms, but if it's not accurate, if you can't read a damn defense, what the fuck good? This motherfucker literally had 8 touchdowns. Throw 8 touchdowns in a season. 52 completion percentage. And you worried about a big arm? like I said, if this is Julio speaking, talking about big arms, Julio got CTE. He got he already showing early signs of CTE. Because this is the goofiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Jay Cutler is another one. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
if this is Julio, Julio done lost his ever loving mind, and that like again, this is what we talk about all the time.
Jameis
Receivers
Winston.
think they are the whole damn show. Just because like that, and this is why I try my best to even just stay humble, because one day it's gonna be your turn to to really feel that reality. Reality gonna hit your ass right in the fucking face, smash your ass in the face hard. And you're gonna look back and say, God damn, man, I should have really appreciated Matt Ryan. Damn, I should have really appreciated, guys like goddamn Jesse Tuggle. Because for years we struggled trying to find another Jesse Tuggle, trying to find another Rod Coleman, trying to find another John Abraham.
Yeah.
So like that reality, when it hits your ass in the face, bro, you're gonna feel it. And I feel as though, Jameis Winston is another. Jameis Winston is another. Mr. 30 for 30. So at like reality, a lot of these players they get, they think they too damn, they think they special, they think they Michael Jordan, Julio thinking if this is Julio talking, if this is what he's saying is real, then Julio is a bigger idiot than I thought he was.
Hey, I like what Tony just said. Plus, now we found out that 11 requested a trade back in March, 2 months before the Sharp incident. So the Atlanta Falcons organization protected him all this time, but not letting the info get out. That's a key thing. And I'm also wondering, is this clickbait as well? Because like, if you're gonna talk shit about Matt Ryan, it's like, are you trying to make us speed up the trade value to make us trade back? No. We know what you can do for these last 3 years. I want a first round pick. And if you want to go, I need a first and a third. Stop playing with this organization, man. Terry ain't looking for that. Terry don't care about none of that crap you talking about. Matt Ryan's arm ain't this. Okay, if Matt Ryan's arm is weak, you're injury prone.
I don't know how you can throw for 4,000 yards and you have a weak arm. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Tom Brady has a weak arm. Like, it showed in the Packers game, in the championship game. He was throwing fucking donuts. We ain't gonna talk about that though, huh?
Like, we don't smash. We don't down the great Tom Brady. Even though I've seen him throw lollipops in the air. That shit in the air for 10 years, and you up here talking about, Matt Ryan arm strength. Like that's why I said I don't believe any of this is coming from Julio. I think it's just these teams, and he got these writers and these journalists. They work for these teams, and they're paid to get pull out a narrative. Like I don't think Julio, because like I said, man, Julio Jones is not a receiver that has a lot of. He don't really go for a lot of deep ball. His bread and butter is the middle of the field, and you don't need to have a big arm to kill.
Deep routes, deep post routes, comeback routes. That's what he eats off of. Those 15 to 20-yard comeback routes. That's what he eats off of every time. And Matt Ryan shows he throws that on the money every time. Julio. Even the Calvin Ridley during last year, it showed he was throwing the Calvin Ridley on the money. And Calvin Ridley is faster than Julio right now at this time and age.
Yeah. So I don't think any of this is coming from Julio. Like I don't see if Julio wanted to be traded, why would he smash his quarterback? So it's like if his quarterback is not doing what he wants, like the quarterback gonna be, everybody gonna be looking at Julio with a side eye. Like, damn, you got Matt Ryan and you bitching? Like, what the fuck wrong with you, Julio? Like, that's not a good look for him going to a new team to smash a quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback like Matt Ryan. So I don't think any of this is coming from Julio.
Especially how Matt Ryan talks about Julio. Matt Ryan stated in his interview, his press conference, that Julio Jones has extended his career and he appreciates Julio Jones day in and day out. So that's just not it. But I mean, could it be the get fucking set thing though? That did go viral. That could have made him feel a certain type of way. I mean, Sanu did get traded the following year. I mean, I don't know. But that's Matt Ryan for you, bro. Like, y'all be thinking Matt Ryan is just this little pushover guy. he shows how he is from time to time. Don't be fooled by him.
Hey,
He's a
Matt Ryan
talented,
is a dog,
aggressive
man.
player. Yeah, yeah.
Matt Ryan is a dog, so don't forget that. You don't,
Mm-hmm.
pay 13 years at the top and not be a dog. That man knows he's good. That
And
man shows he's good. So, like I said, I don't believe any of this. It's the same narrative that everybody's saying. It's like everybody get carried away with big arms and stuff. That's why people love, you know, that's
Mahomes.
why they love Fields and that's why they love Lance, not because they were accurate quarterbacks. And when you look at their college career, they weren't very accurate to begin with. So it has nothing to do with accuracy. These
Mm-hmm.
these these executives and these people who work for ESPN, Fox, they want to see exciting plays because that's what sells
Mm-hmm.
tickets for them. Deep passes, big time, returns, all that type of stuff. Like that's what sells tickets for them. They end up selling tickets. They end up getting clicks. You can't get clicks, on your website with a 10-yard, with a 10-yard crossing route. Like that's not gonna sell. I'm just being honest. You want to see Michael Vick running for 50 yards. You want to see those big, 80-yard touchdowns, those bombs. Like that's what you want to see. So that's what they doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is all clickbait for them. So I don't believe any of this from Julio. Like Julio showed himself. He's never been one of these guys to smash any of his teammates.
Yeah.
He's
Fact.
looking out for himself. Like I don't think that's not who Julio is. If this was, you can't hide who you truly are when it comes down to like, are you talking smack behind your homeboy's back, like your homegirl back, like that's something that you do from day one. You can't hide that type of shit for 10
Mm-hmm.
years. You can't hide that for 10 years, bro. So none of that ever. I've never seen Julio throw any of his teammates on the bus. So I doubt the guy that helped make him one of the greatest receivers of all time, you smashing him. That's not Julio. Come on, bro. Let's be real.
Tony, he kind of was talking to Julio and Sanu on that play. Neither one of them was set at the time. Julio
Yeah,
was coming into motion. He was talking to both of them, bro.
he was talking to both.
Yeah. Let's get into this $5 chat though. Mr. $5 man, Terrence Holmes. Can you believe he dissed the fuck out of Matt Ryan saying he needs a big arm QB? Haven't you dropped 2 passes in the playoffs in the red zone right through your hands? I don't know about the 2 passes in the playoffs, but definitely he's dropped some passes in regular season games. I mean, Julio usually steps up in playoff games throughout the time. I don't really see him drop passes in playoff games, but in regular season games, yeah, versus the Panthers, versus and mostly be versus NFC goddamn team. He don't even do that versus AFC teams. That's the crazy thing. I don't know what Julio just had. He just has those brain farts sometimes, man. And it happens because you go in
Right.
and
It
out of the
happens,
game.
man.
You go in and out of the game, you got to get back comfortable again. If you don't get the ball for a certain amount of time, that happens. That happens as far as a receiver, running back. You can have brain farts in the NFL just like regular people can. So I don't take anything into that. But appreciate you for giving us that $5, my brother, man. Stay locked into
Yes,
the
sir.
contact.
Appreciate that,
Appreciate
man.
you. I like this. 5 of the top 10 passes today are arm shoulder passes. Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of quarterbacks, they don't do a lot of, man. Fundamentals, man. Their fundamentals matter as a quarterback. That's why Cam Newton is having so many issues with his shoulder because he hasn't, you know, been running the ball one, but two, he throws the ball with all arm. He doesn't really use his hips and he doesn't really use his feet. So it's like a lot of those guys, even a Russell Wilson to a degree, like he doesn't really use his feet well because he's constantly running the ball. And that's why, running the ball, they don't want quarterbacks running. Like that's why Andy Reid, wants Pat Mahomes to sit in the pocket for an extended period of time. And then if he has no other choice, you then run because it leads to issues with your shoulder when you're constantly running and have to throw the ball. That's not a good throwing motion for any quarterback. It's not a natural motion to run and throw. You just try to run as fast as you possibly can and try to throw the ball accurately. Your shoulder's going that you're gonna feel that. I can promise you that. That's something that I
Definitely.
know personally. You're gonna feel that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, okay, so you talking about the 2017 game, but I'm thinking we talking about like deep passes. That's what we was talking about. We wasn't talking about like that was like a 10-yard pass where he just threw the ball up, last chance type thing, and Julio dropped
Yeah,
it. That was a key drop in the playoffs. You right? That did. We did have a chance. If we would have won that Eagles game, we would have been in the Super Bowl just like the Eagles. I can tell you that now. We would have tormented the
absolutely.
Vikings easily. So yeah, Julio did F us on that play, but I mean it happens, man. I can't do nothing about that. That's a part of
Right.
it. That's a part of the game. Sometimes you're gonna make them plays. And you know what's crazy? Did anybody bash Julio after that Eagles game?
Not a
I don't.
chance.
I
That
doubt
ball went
no
straight through
Falcons
his
fan
hand.
bashed him.
That
Nobody
went
bashed him
straight
about
through his
that.
hand. It went straight through his hand. Everybody in the whole world saying it went straight through his hand, but nobody said Julio cost us the game. Not one time.
They probably gonna make it seem like Matt Ryan made a bad throw, but goddamn, he was getting rushed. That man literally hiked the ball. It was somebody already in his face. Then you did a
Hmm.
rollout. That play was atrocious from the beginning, if we're gonna be honest. And that
Absolutely.
coaching, Tevin Coleman was eating that whole game, and you kept taking him out for goddamn Freeman, who just had a meniscus issue, and leaving Freeman in the goddamn game. That's why I be telling y'all, bro. Y'all don't be seeing this coaching issue, bro. Like Tevin
Hmm.
Coleman was eating literally 8 yards a carry, catching everything. They took that motherfucker out and put Freeman back in the game, and we didn't do nothing. Fletcher Cox was eating that whole game on us,
Hmm.
killing us. We didn't have no game plan for Fletcher Cox. But it's past the hour. We got a great show. Uh, with Terrence Mathis. You wanna go ahead and snip that in real fast, Mike, for 12 o'clock for the guys to go over there as well.
Hey man, yeah, go check out Atlanta Sports Unlimited, man. Terrence Mathis, Terrence Moore, all those guys up there, Tom Pollen, um, Dave, those guys have great content over there. So it's like go check them out. They're on at 12 o'clock every Saturday. All right, 12 o'clock every Saturday. So y'all go check them out, man. They are great guys. From time to time, you actually see me on. We're trying to really expand our brand and really, give people and everybody access of everyone. We have some
Mm-hmm.
terrific creators, journalists, and we all need to just come together, give the fans exactly what they need, not what these damn false ass narratives. All right, talking about Julio talking about Matt Ryan arms. Like, man, come on, man. Like I said, man, this man done made Julio owe damn near $100 million. Why would he talk trash about a man that damn near gave him over $100 million? Like, let's stop. I just don't believe that bullshit. I don't believe that at all. So it's like when it all comes down to it, man, people have narratives. They don't want to see Matt Ryan and Julio retire together. They don't want to see the Falcons being successful. They don't want to see us fans being happy. They don't want to see us, have a Super Bowl. They don't want to see us do anything. They despise Georgia. So when it all said and done, man, I'm gonna leave with this and the great Tupac, one of his greatest songs. And it's probably ain't gonna go over well, but I'm gonna just say this from here on out. I woke up screaming "fuck the world," all right, and that's all I want to say about that. Just woke up saying "fuck the world," and that's the attitude the Atlanta Falcons gonna have this year. You can see it written all over Arthur Smith's face. They just woke up screaming "fuck the world." We gonna run through you bitches. We're gonna get back to Dirty Bird football. We're gonna get back to grimy, disgusting, smash your face, kick your mama in the booty hole. We're gonna kick your dad in the nuts. We're gonna slap your sister. We're gonna slap your brother. We're gonna smack your kids. We getting back to that grimy, dirty ass, filthy, disgusting, break your fingernails, bite your fingernails. That's what the hell we need to do. We need to get back to that shit. All right. We need to get disgusting. And that's what the Falcons are getting back. All right. Fuck everybody.
Let's
We
get
about to
it.
take this.
Let's get it. I like that narrative, Mike. Appreciate you joining once again. My homies already hit me up in the chat talking that bubble gum from that Bleacher Report. I don't care about it. Julio can do whatever the hell he wants. It's cool with me. I'm good. We got players that's gonna be able to step up and make plays. Appreciate y'all once again for liking, subscribing to all the AFN platforms. Make sure y'all lock in, continue. We're gonna have some great news and awareness for you fans, man. So make sure y'all lock in because it's not, as you see, they only talk about the Falcons when it's negativity. They're not talking about nothing good with the Falcons. So come here when you want to hear that positive talk on the Falcons. We're not gonna do no negative talk. We're gonna continue to anybody that wants to be here, we're gonna continue to up our players. So make sure y'all stay locked in for that. Subscribe.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to my channel, Twisted Torch TV. Subscribe to Mad Mike. Subscribe to Miss Maggie, KSTYLZ, J Rock for Twitch, Jew Talk Sports. And let's lock in, guys. Appreciate y'all joining us on this Saturday morning. Make sure y'all go to Terrence Master's show ASAP. They're on right now. That's why we're going to cut it short for you guys. Appreciate y'all once again. We're out.
Peace.